A few months ago, there was IWA or IVA or IWA, however you want to pronounce it, but it is the biggest outdoor knives, gun, and airsoft exhibition in Europe. And RS Alpha gave me a special task. And it all started a few months ago when I was driving home from an event and I got a message from RS Alpha. They were going to IWA and they needed a promotional video to show on their booth on their big TV. And while I have been making videos for RS Alpha, all kinds of videos like to do or how to start with RS Alpha, this was something completely out of my comfort zone. This was not a video that I created to my guidelines and what I wanted to do. This was a video that they asked me to make for them specifically for that event. And all the people on IWA were going to see it. And you can say, yes, Rob, but all the people can see your videos on YouTube. And yes, but for some reason that felt completely different than any other video I made before. And of course, as soon as I got the message, I didn't hesitate and I accepted it. Of course, because I want to push myself to go outside of my comfort zone and be better in what I'm doing, and this is making videos. And as soon as I accepted the task, I started drawing IDs in the car. And while for RS Alpha this might have been a new ID, it was something that was already going on in my mind for a very long time. I always wanted to make a special video to promote them. And with this video, I had the chance to do, well, at least a little bit of that ID that was already going around in my head for I think for years. But then still, bringing the IDs that are in my head, putting them on a piece of paper, and then actually making the video and presenting it on a live event, that was all new for me. And for some people, they might know that I'm quite a perfectionist in the things that I do, and I want to have things as they are in my mind, and there is a lot of reasons not to make it, because it's easier not to do it and not fail than actually start doing it. But with this video, I started pushing myself to actually make the video because I agreed to them to make it. And it was a perfect opportunity for me to learn new skills and push myself over that fear of failure. And for my YouTube videos, usually I have a small script. I write things down, the things that I want to say, sometimes in bullet points or sometimes the complete written down script. It's easier for me to not wander off of what I want to say because I'm easily distracted from anything, even the things that are in my mind. When I'm recording a video, I'm already thinking on a million other things, not a million, but a lot of different other things, and I get really easy sidetracked, so I don't remember the words that I written down. And also for this video, I needed to have a plan. I needed to make a script. I needed to make sure I didn't get distracted from all the other things that were happening in the meantime. And also with this video, I had an actual deadline. Yes, for my YouTube videos, I have tried to make a video every week, but nobody knows which video it's gonna be. I can have some videos already prepared, which I usually don't have because I'm behind my schedule, but I can make another video and you will not know which video I missed. But with this RS Alpha video, that video needed to be ready for IWA. So there was no cheating this time. I had to finish that video on time. I had to finish it within the deadline. And this is also why I wanted to make this small little behind the IWA RS Alpha video, so you can have a little bit of a look into my brain and how I started doing things, and follow me in the process of making the video until it was ready to be released on IWA. So on my piece of paper I had a small script, and the next step was to try things out and bringing it from the piece of paper into the real world and actually picking up my camera and doing things. That already scared the living crap out of me. But I had to do it. I had to test all my cameras because I was going to use a GoPro 3, a GoPro 7, a Canon camera, the one that I'm recording on right now, my new Panasonic camera, and I was going to use my drone. And all those cameras were going to be operated by me. So I didn't know yet how I was going to do that. So to be able to test that out, I went into the backyard and I made a small test video. And when that test video was ready, I was going to send that to RS Alpha to ask, is this ID okay for your video? And this is the previous video that I sent to RS Alpha. And once RS Alpha approved this previous video, I could start working on the next step, and that was bringing it to the real thing. And for more professional filmmakers, this might sound very normal, all the steps that I'm doing. But for me, as a first-time person doing it, this was all new. And every step that I needed to take, I needed to go over that threshold of, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. Maybe I better not do it so I don't fail. And that was the constant thing that was going on in my head while making this video. But still, step by step, we came closer to that date that I needed to record the video. And after some changes in the script from me and from RS Alpha, everything was ready to actually film it. Now, what is the best time to have people running around in gear and being on a field that you can use to film stuff? Yes, exactly, during an airsoft game. And that wasn't really the smartest thing to do, because that window of opportunity to film it with the people that were actually playing a game, that only window was during the lunch break. So that gave us about 30-40 minutes to pack everything that we were wearing from the game, pack it in the car, take out all the film gear, move to the location to film the actual video. Well, before we could actually film it, I had to explain the script to them. We had to do some test runs. I had to set up all the cameras. I needed to film from different angles. I needed to have my drone, my GoPros ready. I needed to have my Panasonic, my Canon camera, and I had to make sure that nothing was in the frame that doesn't needed to be in the frame, and everything that needed to be in the frame was in the frame. Yeah, that wasn't maybe the smartest idea to do that in such a short window. But again, I pushed my limits to be able to squeeze everything in that small window, and we actually managed it. Now, I didn't have the time to check the footage on site, so I didn't know if things worked out well. I just packed everything up in the box, we carried the box back to the car, we put on our airsoft gear again, and we started playing the second half of the day. But luckily, I knew the field a little bit beforehand because I played there before. I had some Google Earth images where I was going to place the cameras, and the people that were going to be in the video are good friends of mine, and they were all and they were ready to take a lot of my weird ideas without asking a lot of questions, and they actually gave some good pointers on how to move, and then I just had to adjust it a little bit so it looked very good on camera, because it's not always if it looks good in real life that it will look good on camera. Another thing that I need to get familiar with. So thank you very much for Army of Friends to help me making this video without asking too much questions. So when I came home, I was very excited to put everything on my computer, because I have an experience with video and audio not working very well. If people remember my Verage video that I made for Lisa. So I didn't want to have the same experience coming home, putting in the cart, and everything was going to be blank. Now, luckily, everything worked. Well, most of the things worked. We did a few takes, and I was able to stitch everything together. And now it was time for post-production. And yes, with all my experience of post-production, color grading, and all the other things you need in post-production, this was going to be easy, right? Not really. But and I was still missing some shots, but I told everybody I will do that at home. I will make my own fake HQ at home, and I will record those few shots with Lisa doing some stuff. And luckily that worked out too. But again, I postponed those shots way too long. And I think that was the biggest struggle, trying to just do it. And if there's one important thing that I learned from this experience, is that it is okay to try something even if you're not 100% sure that it will work out. You will have a good learning experience. And again, I'm going off track of my script that I've written down. Let's go back into it. Right. I was missing some shots. I recorded those shots. I put everything together, and I sent the first version to RS Alpha for them to okay it or not okay it. And luckily, they were quite okay with it. We did some more changes. We did some small text alterations because I knew where the text was going to come up. They sent me some stuff beforehand. And after that, it was ready to have a finished video. Well, at least the first version to send to them. And luckily, they liked it. And I was very happy that they liked it. They also might have liked it, just not to hurt my feelings. But let's just say that they liked the video. And yes, there were things that I personally was not happy with, things that they were in my mind, but I could not bring it from my mind on the process while making the video. It might have been in the post-production, it might have been during the filming itself. There were things that I was not happy with, but I have to learn to let things go and be happy with the stuff that is good enough. Not perfect, but it's good enough for the purpose that it's going to serve. And that hurts to say for me. I have a problem saying that as somebody that wants to perfect everything, and it annoys me. So without further ado, here is the video that played on the Ars Alpha booth during IWA 2024. So we came from an idea on paper, we went to the previs, we went to the recording stage, we did the post-production, and lastly the video was playing on IWA 2024. And I felt so proud to see that video on IWA playing on a actual booth. I've always been doing things quite in the background, but now something that I created was not only on YouTube on my personal channel, but it was being used by another company on an IWA booth. So yes, I was very proud that I was able to create the idea that was in my head to a finished project. Even though it was not perfect, it was good. And I really liked it. And I'm very grateful that Ars Alpha gave me the chance to make such a video for them. And I hope in the future I can do more stuff like that, because I really like doing it. I like to create videos. I like to create my vision and bring it to life everywhere. It is a fun thing to do. So yeah, maybe there's gonna be more videos like that in the future, and if they allow it, I will make a breakdown video again, because it's actually a fun thing to explain what I was doing and why I was doing it. But for now, I want to wish you a very good day, and I'll see you next week, hopefully, for another video. Bye.